Babes, when the gossip blogs start posting before 8 a.m., you already know the universe is about to get messy.
Babes, good morning, good evening, good day, good one ever.
Babes, we are happy to have you here. And babes, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit subscribe, comment, and like this show.
Yes, please do. Because, honestly, I know exactly what you are doing right now, Snark Squad. I see you.
Oh, we definitely see you.
It is Friday, May 15th, 2026, and you are probably sitting in your car right now.
Literally gripping the steering wheel.
Just aggressively gripping it, bracing yourself before you have to clock in at your dental offices or your corporate jobs.
Or just wherever you are legally obligated to, like, perceive reality today.
Right, exactly. And before you even turned the key in the ignition, I know what you did.
You checked the blogs.
You checked the blogs, and you absolutely spiraled.
Spiraled. Because the gossip gods looked down upon us this morning on this glorious, chaotic Friday.
They really did.
And they blessed you and us with an early morning drama drop of, like, absolute epic proportions.
It is genuinely thrilling. I mean, I have said it before, and I will say it again.
Say it.
Waking up to absolute mess is honestly better than a shot of adrenaline.
Oh, totally.
It just gets the blood flowing. And honestly, we need to acknowledge that from a purely macroeconomic perspective. Celebrity drama is the foundational pillar of the American economy.
Wait, I actually completely agree with this. Forget the stock market. Forget interest rates.
I am so serious. Like, think about the sheer amount of productivity that is driven by people just rushing through their morning tasks.
Just speeding through traffic.
Yes, speeding, aggressively sorting their emails just so they can sit at their desks, minimize their spreadsheets, and secretly scroll through Reddit threads.
Reddit threads about reality TV divorces. It is literally keeping the lights on in this country.
The anticipation of mess is what gets the working class out of bed. It just is.
It really is. And Fridays always, always bring the most chaotic, unhinged energy.
Every single time.
Because people save their absolute worst behavior for a Thursday night drop. Like, publicists log off, lawyers go to sleep.
And then by Friday morning, the entire world is just vibrating with gossip?
I am vibrating. Like, I am physically shaking with excitement right now.
Well, you're also shaking because of the caffeine.
Okay, true. Because, babes, this morning we have salted caramel frappes on deck.
We do. Shout out McDonald's.
Shout out to the Golden Arches. Because let me tell you, these summer drinks are absolute fire.
They're life-altering. The ice-to-syrup ratio, unparalleled.
Unparalleled. And let me just put this out there for the universe. This is not a sponsored segment.
Babes, it absolutely could be.
It absolutely should be. McDonald's, if corporate is listening to this morning gossip session, call our team immediately.
We are so ready for the brand deal. Like, we are highly susceptible to corporate bribery in the form of blended iced beverages.
Let's be very clear about that.
But seriously, there is something deeply psychological to be analyzed about our current collective obsession with these iced drinks.
Oh, go into it. Break it down.
Like, why does drinking a frappe at 8 in the morning somehow feel incredibly luxurious?
It feels so fancy.
Right. You are literally sitting in bumper-to-bumper traffic on a random Friday, staring at the back of a delivery truck.
But you have a domed plastic lid.
Exactly. You have the domed lid and a straw, and suddenly you feel like you are on a yacht in the Mediterranean.
It is the pinnacle of accessible luxury. Because, honestly, caffeine is basically serving as my primary emotional support at this point in my life.
Oh, 100%.
If I do not have a cold, sugary, heavily caffeinated beverage physically clutched in my hand, I am entirely unequipped to handle the emotional labor of just existing.
It is the adult pacifier. You just need to hold on to the condensation of the plastic cup to feel safe.
Safe in a chaotic, unpredictable world. It grounds me. It really does.
It really does.
And babes, to the Snark Squad listening right now, we have a massive confession to make.
We do. We went wild today.
We decided to spice up our breakfast orders today. We completely deviated from the norm.
Threw caution to the wind.
Threw to the wind, and it was a revelation. Like, I specifically ordered the chicken McMuffin.
And I got the breakfast BLT bagel with cheese.
And let me tell you, they were so good.
Yeah.
I am still processing the flavor profile.
The structural integrity of that bagel alone was immaculate.
So good.
But it opens up a massive, highly controversial debate about fast food breakfast rankings.
Oh, it really does.
Because there is a very specific hierarchy, and I think we just disrupted it.
Well, my working theory, and I will literally take this to my grave, is that breakfast foods intrinsically taste 100% better when someone else makes them.
That is just science.
It is. If I stand in my own kitchen and scramble an egg, it tastes like sadness, utility bills, and chores.
Yes, it tastes like responsibility.
Exactly. But if a fast food worker hands me an egg tucked inside a piece of foil through a car window, it is a Michelin star culinary experience.
The flavor is enhanced by the sheer lack of effort on your part.
Absolutely.
It's the profound emotional comfort provided by a greasy hash brown. Let's just break down the sociology of the hash brown for a second.
Please do.
You're stressed, you're tired, the global news cycle is terrifying, your inbox is overflowing.
Right.
But here is this perfect, golden, standardized rectangle of fried potato. It never disappoints you.
Never.
It never changes its story. It doesn't have ulterior motives. It is a constant, reliable force in an ever-shifting universe.
A hash brown would never leak a fake story to a blog.
Never.
A hash brown would never betray you in a group chat, which is exactly what I needed this morning. Because, babes, we need to talk about Pilates.
Oh, no. I knew we were going to have to address this.
We have to.
I was hoping we could just gloss over it and pretend it never happened.
We absolutely cannot gloss over it. Because, yes, babes, you need to know that we actually went this morning.
We did, unfortunately.
We woke up before the sun.
Yeah.
We put on matching athletic sets that we have no business wearing, and we went.
Shout out to our friend Tiny for still allowing us into her studio after the absolute circus act we put her through today.
It was a spectacle.
The sheer chaos of that workout cannot be overstated. I am publicly apologizing to everyone who was in that 6 a.m. class.
They were just trying to find their center.
And we were in the back corner, audibly gasping for air.
I was trying so hard to stay balanced, just shaking like a leaf in a Category 5 hurricane.
Shaking?
I was desperately trying to keep a neutral, serene face, pretending I wasn't fighting for my very life on that reformer carriage.
My legs were doing things that defied the basic laws of human anatomy.
And physics.
And the soreness is already kicking in. Like, I can literally feel lactic acid pooling in muscles I didn't even know I possessed.
It is so bad.
The transition from sitting in a car drinking a caramel frappe to trying to perform a synchronized core movement on a spring-loaded medieval torture device is jarring.
Yarning.
The human body was not designed to pivot that quickly from processed sugar to a plank series.
It wasn't. But honestly, babes, joke all you want, laugh at my pain, but I am actually starting to feel stronger.
Oh boy, here we go.
I am. The delusion is setting in. And low-key, I think I might try doing a daily Pilates challenge next week.
A daily challenge.
Like every single day, just really commit to the aesthetic. Especially because I am simultaneously entering my brand new vegetarian era.
Okay, let's unpack this delusion right now, shall we?
Unpack it.
Because the sheer audacity of thinking one single chaotic Pilates class has fundamentally changed your entire life trajectory is staggering.
I am a new woman.
We do this exact same routine every 6 months. We go to one class, we eat one piece of unseasoned lettuce, and suddenly we think we are Gwyneth Paltrow launching a lifestyle brand.
Excuse me, I am practically glowing from the inside out. My aura is cleansed.
Your aura is exhausted.
True. But honestly, I am already spiraling over whether this wellness era will actually last through the weekend.
You won't.
Like, let's be real. What would a truly healthy version of ourselves even look like?
I can't even picture it.
Would we even be fun anymore? If I am not heavily caffeinated, physically sore from one class I took 3 days ago and running purely on toxic gossip, who am I?
What is your identity?
Exactly.
You'd be entirely unrecognizable. You'd lose your edge. And we cannot afford to lose our edge today.
No, we cannot.
Because the mission of today's Gossip Drop is looking at exactly what happens when people try to meticulously control their image and how spectacularly it all falls apart.
It is falling apart everywhere.
From PR statements that sound like legal contracts to literal court battles trying to gag mistresses, the reality TV universe is currently a masterclass in psychological warfare.
And I am so ready to be on the front lines.
Same.
Because, babes, if we are physically sore from the reformer carriage this morning, it is absolutely nothing compared to the emotional soreness of navigating these messy reality TV divorces and co-parenting situations.
They are imploding all over the internet right now.
Yeah, they really are.
Exactly. We need to start with the Valley, because the stars of that show are currently crumbling before our very eyes.
Real-time collapse.
We are witnessing the collapse of multiple marriages, and it is entirely self-documented.
We have to start with Lala Kim.
Oh, Lala.
Lala was unleashed on Watch What Happens Live on Wednesday, May 13th.
Yeah.
And babes, she held absolutely nothing back.
It was a scorched earth campaign.
Not a single thing was held back. Let's lay out the facts for the Snark Squad.
Yes, let's give them the context.
For anyone who somehow missed it, Watch What Happens Live is Bravo's late-night interactive clubhouse.
Right, with Andy Cohen.
Exactly. It's designed to get these reality stars relaxed, usually with a cocktail in hand, answering live fan questions.
Which is just a breeding ground for PR disasters.
A total breeding ground.
Huh.
And Lala was in the clubhouse, taking direct aim at her Valley castmate, Danny Bucco.
She went right for him.
She slammed him as being, quote, extremely disrespectful. And the quote that really set the internet on fire.
I still can't believe she said it.
She explicitly stated that she hopes his wife, Nia, leaves him so she can be with someone who treats her like a baby bird.
I physically gasped when she said that. I really did. Same.
Because let's contextualize this for a second. We are currently watching Nia struggle with severe postpartum depression on the show.
It is incredibly raw.
It's incredibly real television. And Danny has been, well, the audience has a lot of thoughts on how he's handling it.
A lot of thoughts.
But for Lala to sit on live television and say she hopes Nia leaves him, that is wild to say about your castmates who are actively still married.
Still married.
Trying to make it work and raising a newborn and toddlers.
It is incredibly bold, and it crosses a massive boundary.
It really does.
Especially because Lala added this little caveat. She said she, quote, heard what was really happening between them when they thought there was no audience around.
It's like when the cameras were allegedly down.
Wait, I have to stop you there. Do you actually believe that?
Honestly?
Or is Lala just weaponizing the concept of unseen footage to make herself look like the ultimate truth teller?
See, that is the brilliant, manipulative part of her strategy.
You're so smart.
By claiming she has off-camera knowledge, she positions herself as the omniscient narrator of their marriage.
Right.
It implies a whole layer of darkness and disrespect that isn't even making it to the edited episodes.
Exactly. It makes the audience paranoid.
Whether it's true or not almost doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
The seed of doubt is planted in the audience's mind.
Yeah.
But the absolute wildest part of this WWHL appearance had nothing to do with Danny and Nia.
Oh my God. My jaw was literally on the floor.
It was so crazy.
I had to rewind the clip 3 times. The sperm bank nightmare.
Let's break down the mechanics of this rumor because it is straight out of a dystopian novel.
It really is.
So Lala recently had her second daughter, Sosa, entirely on her own via an anonymous sperm donor.
Good for her.
Right. And there has been this insane, incredibly specific rumor floating around the internet that Luke Broderick, who is Kristen Dout's boyfriend and also on The Valley, the rumor is that he donated to the exact same sperm bank that Lala used.
I am having a visceral reaction just thinking about this. Let me paint the picture for you, babes.
Please paint it.
Imagine you go through this highly clinical, deeply personal, incredibly expensive process to have a child independently.
Tens of thousands of dollars.
You comb through files, you look at medical histories, you pick an anonymous donor to ensure there is no messy paternal involvement.
Right, total anonymity.
And then, through the twisted grapevine of Los Angeles gossip, you find out that the man whose genetic material you bought might literally be the guy sitting across from you at a cast dinner party.
Wearing a trucker hat.
Wearing a trucker hat and arguing about real estate.
It is a profound violation of the boundaries she tried to set up.
It is like buying a mystery box on the dark web, paying so much money for it, demanding absolute anonymity, and then realizing your weird neighbor from down the street is the one who packed it.
The mystery box analogy is horrifyingly accurate.
It's terrifying.
And when Andy Cohen asked Lala about this rumor, her reaction confirmed the sheer, unadulterated panic she felt.
She did not think it was funny.
She didn't laugh it off at all. She said if it were true, it would destroy everything she worked so hard to create.
Because her whole mission over the last few years was eliminating the unpredictable element of the man from the equation.
Exactly.
She wanted total independence. She wanted a fortress around her family.
Right.
And to have the father be, quote, right there in the flesh, as she put it, breathing the same air as her and being the partner of one of her close friends in the Bravo universe.
She literally called it her biggest nightmare.
Her biggest nightmare.
And we have to look at the psychological terror of that. The reality TV ecosystem is incredibly small.
Too small.
Everyone dates everyone. Everyone knows everyone's business. To try and step outside of that ecosystem to do something pure and private, only to potentially have the Bravoverse infect your actual genetic lineage.
It's a horror movie.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
No, it seems it is just a rumor, but the fact that her face completely dropped just thinking about it tells you everything you need to know about her current state of mind regarding men.
It really does.
Which brings us to her update on her ex, Randall Emmett.
Right, Randall.
Yeah.
She confirmed what we all essentially knew, which is that she and Randall do not co-parent.
Shocker.
She called him impossible. She explicitly stated they don't dig each other, but she did concede, somewhat begrudgingly, that he digs their daughter, Ocean,
Well, that's good.
and that Ocean has fun with him when he pops in.
It's a completely fractured, parallel parenting dynamic. Like, they are operating in separate universes that occasionally collide.
Totally.
But this is where the narrative takes a massive, whiplash-inducing turn.
The whiplash was real.
After all this talk about the nightmare of men, the impossibility of her ex, the mission to do it alone, she completely pivots.
She is fully rebranding in real time. Like, she admitted she is sexually active again, and she said, and I am quoting this directly, marriage could be fun.
Marriage could be fun.
She is suddenly open to having a baby with a man.
From a sociological standpoint, this is fascinating.
Bring it down.
We have to look at the mechanics of Lala's public persona. For the last 2 to 3 years, her entire brand, her podcast, her merchandise, her storylines on Vanderpump Rules has been built on this fierce, impenetrable wall of independent anti-man empowerment.
Yes.
Like, I don't need a man. Men are a financial and emotional liability. I am building my empire alone.
Exactly.
And now suddenly she's casually dropping on live television that marriage could be fun. That is a massive structural collapse of her brand identity.
See, I don't think it's a collapse. I think it's exhaustion.
You think so?
Babes, she's just tired. She has 2 kids now. She's fighting with literally everyone on her cast.
That is true.
She confirmed she hasn't spoken to Ariana Madix since the reunion. She threw immense shade at Shiana Shea, basically saying Shiana's over there Bravo blogging while Lala's actually doing the heavy lifting for the show.
She really did say that.
She is at war on every single front. If I were fighting that many battles, I would want to soften up and just find a husband to split the utility bills with, too.
Okay, you're arguing it's a survival mechanism, and you might be right.
I think it is.
The tough, independent warrior armor is incredibly heavy to wear 24/7.
It's exhausting.
She's testing the waters of softening her image so she doesn't have to carry the entire conflict of the show on her back.
Exactly.
But moving from hypothetical nightmares and PR pivots to actual, literal broken glass, we have to talk about Jessie Lally and Michelle Sani.
The window wars.
This window war is getting entirely out of hand.
It is the darkest, most confusing storyline to come out of the Valley.
Absolutely.
Okay, so on the Valley Season 3 after show, Michelle finally decided to speak out about these incredibly wild allegations.
The ones brought by the new girlfriend.
Right, brought to light by Jesse's new girlfriend, Lacey Nicole.
Let's lay the foundation for the Snark squad. The core allegation here is that during the agonizing final days of their marriage, Michelle became physically violent and pushed Jesse through a glass window.
Just a casual allegation.
Right. This was dropped like a bomb, and now, finally, we have the dueling narratives from the ex-spouses.
And their stories could not be more different if they tried.
Not even close.
Michelle claims that Jesse was heavily intoxicated and was aggressively in her face because she was demanding a divorce.
Okay.
So her exact phrasing to describe her reaction was that she, quote, softly got him out of the way.
We need to pause and forensically examine that phrase. Softly got him out of the way.
I am absolutely spiraling over those words.
It's so funny.
How do you softly get a grown man out of the way to the point where a literal pane of glass shatters?
You don't.
What does that even mean? Did she use telekinesis?
Right. Did she use the force?
Did she gently suggest he move, whisper a sweet nothing in his ear, and a rogue gust of wind blew him through the bedroom window?
Softly is doing an Olympic amount of heavy lifting in that sentence.
It really is.
It's a masterclass in linguistic diffusion. Like, she is trying to neutralize the violence of the accusation by using a word associated with gentleness.
PR spin.
It's PR spin happening in real time on an after show. She knows the word pushed sounds legally and morally damning, so she replaces it with softly got out of the way.
Brilliant, honest.
But Jesse's defense, like his version of events, is equally, if not more, absurd.
Oh, Jesse's version is pure comedy, if it weren't so dark.
It's so dark.
He claims they were having a massive dispute about splitting funds from a real estate deal. High stakes, high tension.
Right.
According to him, Michelle jumped over the bed, and he was just innocently standing there folding laundry.
Folding laundry.
And she pushed him back, and his arm went through the bedroom window.
Folding laundry.
I cannot stop it right now. I refuse to believe this.
It's so ridiculous.
To not picture Jesse Lally, a man who wears loafers with no socks and screams about luxury real estate in the middle of a vicious, marriage-ending, screaming match about money, aggressively folding a fitted sheet.
You can't picture it because it didn't happen.
Who folds laundry during a marital blowout?
Nobody. It's a classic storytelling tactic used by people trying to secure the victim narrative.
Break that down.
By intentionally inserting a mundane domestic chore into the chaotic narrative, he's trying to paint himself as the calm, rational, domesticated partner who was just viciously attacked out of nowhere.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's like, I was just doing the chores, Your Honor. I was matching the socks.
Matching the socks.
It highlights the sheer absurdity of reality TV, where these incredibly dark physical altercations are recounted with these bizarre, trivial details to manipulate the audience's sympathy.
But it's not working. Because Michelle is completely unbothered now.
Yeah.
She looks amazing. She's glowing.
She really is.
She says Jesse didn't give her a voice in the marriage. He controlled her every move. But now that they are divorced and have a finalized agreement, she is finally herself again.
Good for her.
And how does Jesse respond? He is out here claiming her new independent behavior is just being coached by the other cast members.
Which is just another extension of his controlling narrative.
Exactly.
He fundamentally cannot accept that her independent behavior is genuine. It threatens his ego.
Oh, massively.
So to protect his ego, he has to attribute her personality to an outside influence. Like, she's not speaking for herself, the cast is making her do it.
Right.
It is a deliberate attempt to remove her agency, even in the aftermath of the divorce.
It is so incredibly toxic. You can practically feel the resentment through the screen.
You really can.
And speaking of toxic resentment, we have an update on the undisputed king and queen of toxic reality TV relationships.
Oh boy, Brittany Cartwright and Jax Taylor.
Babes, they have officially hit the digital wall.
Yes. Brittany revealed an incredibly bleak detail to Entertainment Tonight.
So bleak.
She stated that she and Jax now communicate solely through a parenting app.
Solely?
Their custody is officially settled. She has their son, Cruz, the majority of the time, and Jax has him on Wednesdays and every other weekend.
Okay.
But the actual day-to-day communication has been entirely outsourced to a third-party app.
And we all know exactly why. We don't even have to guess.
No guessing required.
Jax Taylor is a well-known, historically documented rage texter. We have seen him do it on television for over a decade.
We have the receipts.
He will send 40 texts in 2 minutes calling you every name in the book and then block you.
Classic Jax.
Brittany literally said she had to set severe boundaries because before they moved to the app, she was blocking his phone number every other week.
That is exhausting.
Which, I'm sorry, how do you successfully co-parent a toddler when you have the father permanently blocked on iMessage?
You can't. It is an unsustainable model for raising a child.
Obviously.
Which is exactly why the court system and therapists recommend these parenting apps, like our Family Wizard. Let's look at the mechanics of why this is necessary.
Tell me.
These apps create a permanent, legally admissible digital paper trail.
A paper trail.
You cannot unsend a rage text on a court-monitored app. You cannot claim you didn't see a message.
Right.
It forces accountability because they both know a judge could theoretically read every single exchange.
It strips away all the emotion.
Exactly.
It is exactly like when you go into a fast food place, like our beloved McDonald's this morning.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
And you walk right past the human being standing at the cash register to use the giant, soulless touchscreen kiosk instead.
Yes.
You do it specifically so you don't have to endure the trauma, the unpredictability, or the potential attitude of talking to the person on the other side.
You just hit the buttons.
You just want your order, or in Brittany's case, your custody drop-off schedule, without the emotional collateral damage of engaging with Jax Taylor.
That is a brilliant analogy. You are removing the human volatility from the transaction.
Transactional parenting.
It's transactional parenting. It is incredibly sad that a marriage devolves to the point where you have to treat your co-parent like a hostile corporate entity.
So sad.
But it's clearly necessary for her psychological survival. Now, we should note that Jax is reportedly sober now.
Right.
And he abruptly exited the Valley before season 3 even finished filming to seek treatment. But the damage to their communication is clearly profound and long-lasting.
You don't undo a decade of rage texting with a month of sobriety.
It takes time. It takes a lot of time.
But you know what doesn't take time?
What?
Moving on, apparently. Because let's pivot from the toxic exes of the Valley to the Vanderpump Rules exes, who are either thriving in new cities or just completely reeling from shocking, life-altering news.
Oh my God, the DJ James Kennedy news.
Because, babes, DJ James Kennedy is allegedly having a baby.
Or so the massive internet rumor goes.
Right.
And the way we are finding out about this is fascinating. His ex-girlfriend, Ali Luber, did an interview on May 13th, and she was asked to react to the news that James is accepting his first child with a new, unidentified girlfriend.
And her reaction is very telling about the state of his life right now.
She looked genuinely stunned.
She really did.
She said she was shocked because she didn't even know he had a girlfriend.
She had no idea.
She said they haven't talked at all. She wishes them health and happiness, but then she dropped the absolute shadiest little line.
Oh, the gestation was lethal.
She smiled and said, well, we know he moves quickly.
Tell me.
Moves quickly is an absolute masterclass in passive-aggressive reality TV speak.
It's so good.
It's polite on the surface, like it sounds like a harmless observation, but it completely undermines the legitimacy and the foundation of his new relationship.
Khloé.
It's basically a polite way of saying he's erratic, impulsive, and probably filling a void.
Yep.
And honestly, we have to question how low-key James is actually being right now. If even his mutual friends in the Bravo universe are shocked by this baby news, something is weird.
Because he usually broadcasts every single detail of his life.
Exactly.
I am just spiraling over the whiplash of this timeline. Because we need to rewind and look at the actual facts of the last few months.
Let's do the timeline.
December 2024, not that long ago.
Yeah.
They have that massive, incredibly messy breakup. James loses his temper at Kathy Hilton's Christmas party.
A nightmare.
They go home, the argument escalates, and he literally gets arrested for domestic violence.
Right.
That was a dark, serious moment that shifted the entire landscape of his career. Ali called it a heavy breakup and went into a total private healing phase.
Which she needed to do.
And now, mere months later, he is allegedly announcing a baby with a mystery woman.
The whiplash is extreme, and it demands analysis. And let me be very clear here. We are purely analyzing the public timeline of events and the media strategy.
Right.
We are not confirming or validating the specific legal details of the domestic violence allegations. But from a public relations standpoint, this highlights a very common, very cynical pattern we see with male celebrities.
I'll break this down.
A man goes through a massive public scandal or a severe legal issue, and instead of disappearing to do the deep, quiet, unglamorous work to rehabilitate their behavior,
Which they never do.
right, they never do. Instead, they rush into a major life milestone, a quick marriage, a sudden pregnancy. It's the I'm a family man now defense mechanism.
That's a total distraction.
It distracts the public from the arrest, floods the Google search results with baby news instead of mugshots, and forces a new wholesome narrative on the audience.
It's scary how effective it is. People love a redemption arc, even if it's completely unearned.
They eat it up.
And apparently, James and Ali haven't spoken a single word to each other, but the Bravo universe is too small for them to truly escape each other.
So small.
Joe Bradley, from Southern Hospitality, ran into James at Coachella, of all places. And James actually had things to say about Ali moving to Charleston.
Because LA is officially executing the smartest move of her life, which is the geographic cure.
The geographic cure.
She moved to Charleston in January and is joining Southern Hospitality Season 4. Whether she's a main cast member or just making cameos, it is a brilliant career move to distance herself both geographically and narratively from the toxicity of the Vanderpump universe.
So brilliant.
She's leaving the wreckage behind.
Good for her. Run to Charleston, drink a massive sweet tea, and never look back at that man.
Exactly.
Now, someone who is absolutely thriving post-scandal, who took her heartbreak and turned it into an absolute empire, is Ariana Madix.
Oh, Ariana is glowing.
Babes, Ariana had a run-in with a literal president of the United States.
This crossover event is genuinely breaking my brain. I cannot process the sociology of this moment.
It's too much.
Ariana met Barack Obama at the NBA All-Star Weekend game, and she went into the WWHL clubhouse and told Andy Cohen all about the encounter, which was prompted by a fan question from a viewer named Mitchell W.
And of all the things she could say, of all the profound observations you could make after meeting the 44th president of the United States, a historic global figure, what does Ariana focus on?
I can't even.
She heralded the former president for having, quote, really soft hands.
Really soft hands. That is the takeaway.
I'm obsessing over this granular detail. What moisturizer is the Secret Service carrying in those little earpiece briefcases?
Is it La Mer?
Is there a designated agent carrying La Mer? Is Barack getting intensive paraffin wax treatments before sitting courtside at basketball games? I need the exact skincare routine leaked to the press immediately.
It's such a beautifully weird, humanizing detail that only a reality star would think to bring up on live television.
Only Ariana.
But we need to analyze the broader Bravo connection here, because this is where the simulation truly glitches.
Glitches hard.
Ariana mentioned that she's seen Michelle Obama talk publicly about watching Bravo shows and Love Island.
Wait.
So Ariana is crossing her fingers that Barack watches, too. And then Carl Recche from Summer House, who was sitting right next to her in the clubhouse, chimes in to corroborate this.
No.
He said that Michelle Obama actually recognized Lindsay Hubbard at an event a few years ago and explicitly told her, "I know you."
I cannot handle this information. I refuse to accept it.
It's real.
Michelle Obama, a brilliant lawyer and former first lady, walking up to Lindsay Hubbard, the woman who screams about sandwiches and activation, and saying, "I know you." What timeline are we living in?
Let's just sit with the bizarre, fascinating reality of this cultural crossover. We have a former U.S. president and first lady, people who have dealt with unprecedented global crises, nuclear codes, and high-stakes international diplomacy.
Right?
Potentially tuning in at night to watch the absolute unhinged degeneracy of Love Island USA or Summer House.
It is incredible.
It is incredibly validating for us as viewers, honestly. It proves that no matter how elevated your intellect is, the human brain craves low-stakes drama.
We all need the mess.
If the Obamas can rot their brains with reality TV to decompress, then our frappe-fueled morning gossip sessions are totally intellectual justified.
Exactly. It proves that mess is a universal biological human need. Even Barack needs a break from thinking about the global economy to watch young, hot people scream at each other while wearing neon bathing suits in a villa in Fiji.
He deserves a break.
Which, speaking of Fiji and Love Island USA, Ariana is absolutely thriving out there as the host.
She really is.
And her success. Her ability to control her own narrative after being publicly humiliated provides the absolute perfect contrast to the current reigning king of Bravo PR disasters.
Oh, West Wilson.
West Wilson.
We need to get into the Summer House boy drama because this is a masterclass in how not to handle media leaks.
A total disaster.
And it starts with the women taking back their narratives, specifically Ciara Miller going absolutely toe-to-toe with TMZ.
Yes. Okay, so TMZ, which is historically the mouthpiece for celebrity camps leaking stories, put out a report claiming Ciara would return to Summer House next season.
Which sounds innocent enough.
Except they phrased it as a certainty, despite the fact that she's currently out in Fiji hosting Love Island USA after Sun.
And Ciara did not just let this inaccurate framing slide. She didn't ignore it.
No, she didn't.
She posted a direct, aggressive clapback. She stated that her team would, quote, NEVER, give TMZ an exclusive.
She spaced out the letters for emphasis.
Yes, and then added the lethal kicker, unlike some people's teams.
You shade.
She explicitly stated TMZ doesn't know anything about her schedule or her contracts. And the power move of the century, the thing that proves she won this battle.
Tell them.
Following her post, TMZ actually went back into their system and changed their headline from will be to able to be on the show next season.
I am aggressively defending Ciara's I don't leak to TMZ energy. That is supreme queen behavior.
Iconic.
Forcing a major tabloid empire to quietly edit their headline because you publicly shamed their journalistic integrity. Iconic.
Truly.
And we all know exactly who she is throwing shade at with the, unlike some people's teams comment, she is looking right at Wes Wilson.
Oh, absolutely. The context is everything. This is all happening in the dark shadow of the massive drama surrounding Wes Wilson announcing his sudden romance with Ciara's good friend, Amanda Batula.
Which is still blowing everyone's mind.
Because the timeline is incredibly suspicious. Let's look at the joint Instagram statement Amanda and Wes put out to address the backlash.
I am begging you to read it. I need to hear the sterile corporate jargon again so I can properly dissect how fake it is.
It is a work of PR art. They wrote that given the, quote, complicated dynamics and the intense public scrutiny of being on a reality show, they needed space to process their feelings privately.
Oh my God.
They claimed their romantic connection grew naturally out of a genuine, long-standing friendship, and they didn't want their actions to cause hurt or be perceived as careless by anyone involved.
Complicated dynamics, perceived as careless. babes.
It's so dry.
Are they falling in love, or are they dissolving a mid-size accounting firm? Who writes like this about romance?
Crisis PR teams write like this. If you analyze the syntax and read between the lines, this carefully curated statement is pure damage control.
100%.
They are trying to retroactively sanitize a very messy timeline. By heavily emphasizing the phrase long-standing friendship, they are trying to soften the devastating blow that West was actively wooing Ciara on television.
Sleeping with her.
Sleeping with her, making her meet his parents, while seemingly building this hidden emotional connection with Amanda the entire time.
So grimy.
It reads like a corporate merger designed to minimize liability, not two friends authentically falling in love.
It is so clinical, it lacks any real human emotion. And the problem with putting out a clinical statement like that is that it completely provokes the people you actually hurt.
It definitely provoked someone.
It is not working, because the ghosts of West's past are rising from the grays to dispute his good guy narrative. Major Moreno has officially entered the chat.
And she came in hot with absolute precision. Maja is West's ex-girlfriend. She reportedly dated him for over a year and was allegedly exclusive with him during the exact same time period he was aggressively pursuing Ciara on the show.
So a fan commented on Maja's Instagram, basically wishing she had been at the reunion to hold West accountable for his timeline lies.
Right.
And Maja's reply. It wasn't a long paragraph. It wasn't a notes app apology. It was just 6 chilling words the cops would have been called.
That is a terrifying and incredible statement. The cops would have been called.
Wait, do you think she means that literally? Like he did something illegal?
No, it's hyperbole, but it's effective hyperbole.
Yeah.
It implies a level of deep betrayal, hidden rage, and absolute chaos that we haven't even begun to scratch the surface of.
That makes sense.
She is essentially saying that the rage she feels toward him is so intense it would have caused a legal disturbance. But what is truly fascinating here, sociologically speaking, is the alliance forming in the wake of this singular comment.
Yes. The girls are uniting.
They are.
Ciara is now officially following Maja on Instagram. They're linking up.
Okay.
And furthermore, Lindsay Hubbard, who never misses an opportunity to stir the pot, went on WWHL wearing a tie from Maja's fashion studio.
The tie.
This is a direct, calculated dig because West previously wore one of Maja's ties on the show to promote her brand when they were together. And Maja immediately reposted a story of Lindsay wearing the tie, calling her support, quote, being a motha.
The optics and the strategy here are incredible. I have to compare Ciara following the ex-girlfriend to the FBI forming a joint task force to take down an organized crime syndicate.
That is exactly what it is.
They are consolidating their resources, they are opening lines of communication, they are gathering intelligence.
Gathering intelligence.
When the women a man has wronged start actively communicating, sharing screenshots, and comparing timelines, his entire carefully constructed narrative structure is going to collapse.
It's over for him.
They are building an airtight case against his nice guy persona.
I love women so much. I love when women team up to systematically dismantle the reputation of a mediocre man who tried to play them.
It's beautiful to watch.
It is honestly my favorite subgenre of reality television. But speaking of controlling PR and media narratives, the fact that TMZ actually had to bend the knee and change their headlines brings us perfectly to the puppet master himself.
Andy Cohen.
Andy Cohen. Because Andy is currently doing his own media damage control, exposing the behind-the-scenes reality of reality TV and dragging us straight into the Housewives cinematic universe.
This was a wild moment of breaking the fourth wall. Andy Cohen had to use his SiriusXM radio show to explicitly confess to some Bravo production illusions.
Let's start with Sprinter Van Gate.
Let's start with Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and Sprinter Van Gate.
This is so profoundly funny to me. Lisa Kudrow, like Phoebe Buffay herself, an A-list actress.
An absolute A-list.
She went on WWHL, and Andy, doing his usual routine, asks if she watches Housewives. She says yes, and immediately, without hesitation, calls out the production editing of RHOP.
She didn't hold back.
She brings up the episode in Italy where Dorrit Kemsley gets into a massive screaming fight with Kyle Richards and Erika Jayne, storms off, gets in a black Mercedes Sprinter van, and seemingly leaves them completely stranded in the middle of a cobblestone village.
But Lisa Kudrow, operating as an eagle-eyed, cynical viewer, points out that there were twin black Mercedes Sprinter vans visible in the wide shot.
Twin vans.
Basically, she implied the whole stranded storyline was completely staged by production to create drama because there was clearly another identical van sitting right there to take Kyle and Erika home.
I am spiraling over Lisa Kudrow being a Bravo conspiracy theorist.
It's amazing.
Imagine acting in one of the most famous, lucrative sitcoms in human history, and you spend your Tuesday nights pausing your DVR to meticulously count the Sprinter vans in the background of a Jorrit Kemsley meltdown.
She is literally one of us.
She is sitting on her couch analyzing vehicular logistics.
She is an icon. But her casual observation actually forced Andy Cohen to reach out to the showrunner of RHOP to get a formal explanation because he couldn't have an A-lister accusing his show of being entirely fake.
No, he had to clear it up.
And the explanation he gave on the radio is actually hilarious. The second van was there, but it was strictly a crew vehicle meant for cameras and lighting equipment.
Oh.
Jorrit actually did steal the main cast van in a fit of rage and leave them stranded. The crew van had to leave to take the production team to a different shooting location.
Wait, so what did Kyle and Erica do?
So Kyle and Erica literally had to call the production house, wait on the street like normal civilians, and have the crew van come all the way back to pick them up later.
So it wasn't staged at all. Jorrit is just genuinely that petty and inconsiderate. She really did strand her coworkers in a foreign country.
Exactly. Andy had to vehemently defend the logistical reality of a Sprinter van on national satellite radio. It's absurd.
It is so absurd.
And then, in the same breath, he had to clarify another viral video that was making him look unhinged. The summer house yelling video.
Oh, this video looks so bad out of context.
So bad.
There's this clip circulating on TikTok where Andy is posing for a nice smiling photo with Kathy Hilton, and suddenly he turns around and looks like he is aggressively, furiously screaming at Kyle Cook from Summer House to get out of the shot.
People thought there was massive underlying tension between the network boss and the reality star.
But Andy explained the context, and it changes everything. He wasn't screaming at Kyle to get out of the shot because he hated him.
No, he wasn't.
He was screaming at Kyle, who was acting as the DJ for the party, to play the new Madonna song, I Feel So Free. His exact frantic words were, you better get the new Madonna.
Only Andy Cohen would be aggressively screaming profanities at a reality star to demand they play Madonna while actively smiling for a photograph with Kathy Hilton.
It is the most accurately on-brand behavior I have ever heard in my life.
It perfectly encapsulates the chaotic energy of Bravo events. The line between professional network executive and crazed fan is completely blurred.
Completely blurred.
But if we are talking about chaotic energy, we have to talk about the explosive Real Housewives of Atlanta sneak peek that just dropped.
Oh my God.
Because the allegations flying on this cast trip to Miami are unprecedented in their specificity.
I need a sip of my frappe before we dive into this because my brain is genuinely not ready to process these sentences again.
Take a sip.
Okay. Deep breath. In this sneak peek, Portia Williams is accusing Kelly Farrell of trying to hook up with her in Miami last season.
And the quotes from this argument on the Sprinter bus are going to be etched into the reality TV Hall of Fame.
Let's read the exact transcript.
Let's do it, because the language choices are critical here. Portia yells across the bus, quote, B word, you tried to scissor me.
And Kelly vehemently denies it, but her defense mechanism is what sent me into orbit.
It's wild.
Instead of just saying no, she yells back, calling out Portia's anatomy, and I am quoting exactly, a hot chili cheese Frito P word.
We have to stop and analyze this. The culinary analogies used for human anatomy in this specific franchise are consistently staggering.
A chili cheese Frito. I am losing my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we bringing Frito-Lay into a sexual harassment allegation?
It is linguistic warfare.
Huh.
In the Housewives universe, you don't just deny an allegation, you have to completely obliterate the self-esteem of the person making the allegation.
Sure.
By using a highly specific, slightly grotesque, intensely flavorful snack food to describe her anatomy, Kelly is trying to visually and viscerally disgust the audience.
Disgust them into believing her.
Exactly, making the idea that she would ever want to hook up with Portia seem physically impossible.
But Portia fires back, completely unbothered by the Frito comment, saying she was taking a Hayward bath and Kelly was eyeing her platinum puss.
Platinum puss?
And she claims Kelly actively invited her to her room, but Portia hit the elevator close button to escape because, and again I am quoting this poetry, a troll was trying to climb a tree that night.
A troll was trying to climb a tree. The poetic imagery, the metaphor.
Shakespearean.
It's Shakespearean in its absurdity. And to add absolute insult to injury, Cynthia Bailey, the supposed voice of reason, chimes in during her solo confessional.
What did she say?
She completely dismissed the physics of the alleged hookup, saying Kelly's legs wouldn't even mathematically make it around Portia.
It is absolute morning chaos. I cannot process the juxtaposition of platinum puss and chili cheese Frito before 9 a.m.
It's a lot for the morning commute.
I need a palate cleanser. And to top it all off, as the bus ride is ending, Portia casually drops a secondary unrelated rumor, accusing Kelly of sleeping with a married man and trying to call him to shush him.
Just casually throwing that in.
Just a casual side dish of adultery rumor to go with the main course of the hookup allegation.
It's the classic RHOA strategy. You throw 5 massive, life-ruining allegations at the wall in rapid succession and see which one destroys the other person's reputation faster.
It overloads the target.
Exactly, so they can't defend themselves against all of it. But moving from verbal assaults and snack food metaphors to actual literal legal injunctions, we need to check in on the Real Housewives of Rhode Island.
Oh, yes.
Because the legal mess between Brian and Beth is exposing the hypocrisy of reality television contracts.
The legal mess. This is where reality TV stops being fun and starts getting expensive. Okay, so RHOR star Rula Pontarelli's husband, Brian, is currently being countersued by his rumored mistress, Beth Walker.
Let's lay out the legal timeline carefully because it is fascinatingly messy and sets a dangerous precedent.
Lay it out.
Brian originally sued Beth for breach of contract. He claimed she violated a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA, by making vague social media posts hinting at their affair.
Right.
So, to summarize, the mistress signed an NDA, and the cheating husband sued her in a court of law to financially ruin her for hinting at the truth.
Which is RA peak villain behavior. You cheat on your wife, you force the woman into a legal gag order, and then you sue her.
Unbelievable.
But Beth is not backing down. She got a lawyer and countersued for slander and defamation. Her core argument is that the NDA is completely illegal and unenforceable now because Brian already broke it himself.
Right. Beth claims Brian voided the confidentiality agreement first by talking about her on the actual television show and on WWHL.
When did he do that?
Specifically, on April 26th, Brian and his wife Rula went on WWHL to defend their marriage, and Brian explicitly referred to Beth as a cockroach.
A cockroach. Wait, let me get this straight. He brought the existence of his mistress onto a national Bravo storyline to secure his wife's spot on the show.
Yeah.
Called the mistress an insect on live television while sitting next to Andy Cohen, and then honestly expected his ironclad NDA to still hold up in a court of law.
He really did.
The sheer audacity and delusion of this man.
It's profound arrogance. He wants to control both sides of the narrative. He tried to deny he was seeing her during the show's infamous polo match scene.
Right, the polo match.
He claimed he didn't sneak out of a pizza place to see her, and dismissed her on national TV as just a bitter ex sending hate texts because he was nobly trying to fix his broken marriage.
He weaponized the show to paint her as crazy.
Exactly. But Beth's lawyer, Frank L. Orbona Jr., is not having it. He put out a fierce public statement saying her speech was entirely truthful.
And his legal argument makes perfect sense.
It makes perfect logical sense. He says it's totally unfair and legally unsound for Brian to use a massive national TV platform to spread false information and assassinate her character to millions of viewers, while simultaneously using a punitive legal document to gag Beth and silence her First Amendment right to defend herself.
From a legal and PR perspective, Beth's lawyer is playing this perfectly.
Flawlessly.
He is highlighting the asymmetry of power. You cannot use a television show as a sword to attack someone's character and then hide behind an NDA as a shield to prevent them from striking back.
You just can't.
It completely invalidates the spirit and the letter of the confidentiality agreement. Brian wanted the dramatic, lucrative storyline of overcoming infidelity without having to face the actual messy consequence of the mistress speaking her truth to the audience.
Well, he is about to learn a very expensive lesson in discovery.
A very expensive lesson.
Don't call someone a cockroach if you don't want them to scurry out of the dark, climb onto the kitchen counter, and bring a folder full of text message receipts to a civil judge.
Exactly. But speaking of terrifying legal threats, we have one more Housewives story to cover, and it is taking a very, very dark, serious turn. We need to talk about RHOBH alum Diana Jenkins.
Yes. This is a very serious pivot, and we need to handle it with absolute care.
We really do.
Diana Jenkins' public relations representative just issued a fierce, legally binding statement to TMZ denying any involvement whatsoever in Hayden Panettiere's recent, highly disturbing memoir, Revelations.
Right.
And we are stating right now, unequivocally, that we are merely reporting on the media fallout and the legal threats. We're absolutely not endorsing or validating any of these internet conspiracy theories.
Exactly. We are just telling you what is happening online.
Hmm.
So for context, actress Hayden Panettiere just released a memoir, and she revealed a truly horrifying story from her past.
Horrifying.
She wrote that when she was 18 years old, a trusted, older figure lured her into a bedroom with a naked A-list actor. She did not name names, she kept it anonymous.
As she should.
But the internet is a dark, relentless place, and internet sleuths on Reddit and TikTok started connecting dots that probably have absolutely no business being connected.
The theory emerged simply because Hayden had previously appeared in Diana Jenkins's infamous high-profile photography book, Room 23.
Just because of that one book.
Right. Because of that single tangential connection, internet sleuths started aggressively, publicly theorizing that Diana was the trusted figure, essentially accusing her of being a high-end madam or trafficker involved in this incident.
I am shuddering. I am physically recoiling. It is such a dark, sickening story. And to have thousands of anonymous people online suddenly accusing you of being the orchestrator of a sexual crime based on a photography book connection.
It's unhinged.
I cannot even imagine the panic.
Which is exactly why Diana's rep came out swinging with absolute legal fury. The statement to TMZ made it 100% clear that it was not Diana, and they explicitly, aggressively threatened to sue anyone, blogs, podcasters, TikTokers, who claims it is.
They're not messing around.
They are not asking for apologies. They are preparing lawsuits.
And babes, listen to me when I say this. Tread lightly. Do not tweet her name. Do not make a TikTok. Diana Jenkins is not playing a reality TV game right now.
I need to remind the audience of this very important, terrifying fact. Diana Jenkins has the kind of generational, unfathomable international wealth that allows her to sue everyone on the internet into absolute oblivion.
Absolute oblivion.
She has done it before to clear her name of similar rumors during her time on the show. She tracked down anonymous IP addresses to sue people for defamation.
She will find you.
She will do it again. The internet treats these dark accusations like a fun game of pop culture Clue, but these are incredibly serious defamatory allegations with real-world, financially ruinous legal consequences.
Exactly. Keep her name out of your mouths. Keep it out of your comment sections. Unless you want a team of terrifyingly expensive international lawyers draining your bank account and taking your house.
It's just too dark.
The internet goes too far. Let's take a breath. Let's step away from the intense legal letters in the courtrooms and check in on some reality TV veterans. We need some updates on the royalty that built this genre.
Yes, let's transition to some real-life changes that go way beyond the manufactured drama of Bravo or the darkness of internet sleuthing.
Because we got some incredibly sobering news about a literal pop culture icon. Snooki.
I know. Nicole Snooki Polizzi from Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
We need to drop the snark for a second, genuinely.
Genuinely.
She just revealed that she has been diagnosed with stage 1 cervical cancer.
It breaks my heart.
It's incredibly scary news to hear about anyone, let alone someone who feels like a fixture in our living rooms.
Exactly.
She explained the medical journey, saying this diagnosis came after years of putting up with abnormal pap smears, eventually having to get a colonoscopy, and finally a biopsy that confirmed it.
Oh, poor thing.
And she is scheduled to have a hysterectomy soon to treat the cancer.
I have such genuine empathy and fear for her. Think about it. We grew up watching her. We watched her find the beach. We watched her get arrested. We watched her become a mother.
We really grew up with her.
She is a defining figure of our pop culture generation. There's a deep parasocial bond there. Seeing her go through something so frightening, so real, so entirely out of her control.
It just stops you in your tracks.
It puts all the stupid Bravo window-breaking drama into perspective.
Ruh.
But she used her massive platform on Entertainment Tonight to send a really important, vulnerable message.
She did. She didn't hide it. She urged women to make sure you do your pap smear and to rigorously stay on top of their preventative health.
Such a good message.
She openly, bravely admitted that her situation could have potentially been avoided or caught much earlier if she had been more proactive and hadn't ignored the warning signs.
So to the Snark Squad listening right now, sitting in your cars, book your appointments, call your doctors today.
Do not put it off.
Do not put it off because you are too busy or too scared. Snooki is literally telling you to take care of yourselves, so do it. We need you healthy so we can keep gossiping together.
It is a critical reminder. Medical avoidance is a very real psychological phenomenon, especially for busy women, but early detection is absolutely everything.
It really is.
Now, from a difficult reality check to a nostalgic television return, we have news that is going to thrill a very specific demographic of reality TV connoisseurs.
Oh, I am so excited for this.
Nicole Williams English is officially making a comeback.
Wait, my brain just flooded with a tidal wave of nostalgia. Former WAG star Nicole Williams English.
Yes. She was a guest on SiriusXM's Page 6 Radio, and she casually teased that she's currently filming a brand new reality show that is coming out very, very soon.
We have to talk about the cultural impact of WAGs. For those who don't know, WAGs stood for Wives and Girlfriends of High-Profile Athletes.
The absolute peak of television.
It was the absolute pinnacle of elite early 2010s E-network reality TV. The fashion was absurd, the drama was cutthroat, the sheer unfiltered display of extreme wealth.
It was mesmerizing.
I miss that era so much. It was a different time. What is the new show? Is it a reboot?
It's not a reboot, it's a pivot. She is starring in a show called The Girls, which is slated to premiere on Hulu later this year.
Okay, Hulu.
And the defining hook is that it is executive produced by Khloé Kardashian. The entire concept focuses heavily on Khloé's inner circle of friends navigating life in Los Angeles.
Wait, is Khloé in it?
Notably, there are no Kardashian family members officially starring in it as main cast members. It is strictly the friends.
Okay, I am seated. I am so ready for this. Give me the Calabasas inner circle drama.
Get all of it.
Give me the NDA signing, private chef hiring, obscure wellness brand launching chaos of the Kardashian-adjacent universe.
It's going to be so good.
And Nicole's had so much happen since her WAGs days. She actually married Larry English, the former NFL player, after holding on to that relationship for dear life on the show.
She fought for that ring.
They have a daughter now, India Moon. What is Larry doing these days?
Yes, Larry pivoted from the NFL and now runs something called Mind Body Mastery, which is a platform specifically targeted for businessmen over 35.
Well, of course he does. A holistic wellness coaching platform for aging businessmen with disposable income.
It is so perfectly predictably LA.
It is the male equivalent of a lifestyle blog. But honestly, I am just spiraling about the nostalgia. Hulu is basically trying to recreate the golden era of the E! Network, and I am here for it.
I'm sure it will deliver exactly the kind of highly curated, aesthetically pleasing drama Hulu is known for. But speaking of delivering, our final story of the day is arguably the most unhinged, bizarre reality TV update of the entire week, if not the year.
Oh, boy.
We have to talk about the McBee dynasty.
Oh, my God. The McBees. Real American cowboys. I cannot with this family.
So to catch everyone up, the patriarch of the family, Steve McBee Sr., is currently serving a 2-year federal prison sentence.
Wait, pause. A 2-year federal prison sentence. For what? Did he run a cartel? Was it embezzlement? Treason?
Crop insurance fraud.
Crop insurance fraud. I cannot process those 3 words together.
Yes. He defrauded the government regarding crop insurance, and now he is sitting in a South Dakota federal prison facility.
Just sitting there.
But the reality TV machine never stops, even for federal incarceration. Cole McBee's fiancée, Casey Atkinson, shared an Instagram story update detailing exactly how Steve Sr. is doing on the inside.
What did she say?
She said he is doing as good as he can be and that the family is actively visiting him in prison.
But wait, it gets crazier. Please tell the Snark squad what they actually did during the prison visit.
During their visitation, they brought their young daughter Blair into the federal penitentiary visiting room, wear a custom big sister sweater, to formally announce to Steve Sr. that Casey is pregnant with baby number 2.
I am pausing to let that mental image completely wash over the audience.
Oh.
Imagine the setting.
Paint the picture.
You are in a sterile, fluorescent-lit federal prison visitation room. There are armed guards pacing the perimeter. There's probably a vending machine with stale Doritos and lukewarm sodas in the corner.
And a metal detector.
You are sitting on a plastic chair, bolted to the floor, and you are doing a cutesy, Instagram-style pregnancy reveal.
Surprise, Grandpa.
Surprise, Grandpa, we're expecting. Sorry about the crop insurance fraud. Hope the yard time is good. It is pure, unadulterated, unhinged reality television behavior bleeding into real life.
I have to question the psychology of orchestrating a milestone family reveal inside a penitentiary, but if you look at it through the lens of production, it ties perfectly into the show's upcoming narrative strategy.
Oh, of course it does.
Season 3 premieres June 15th, and it focuses heavily on the emotional toll of his sentencing. At BravoCon, His son, Steve Jr., noted that his dad is the most optimistic person and claimed that the family on the outside is actually way more stressed out than the guy sitting in federal prison.
Well, of course they are. Because he doesn't have to deal with the reality TV cameras while he's in there.
True.
He's just reading paperback thrillers, working out in the yard, and eating scheduled cafeteria food, while his family is on the outside dealing with relentless Bravo producers, brand deals, and crop insurance lawyers.
Huh.
Honestly, he might have the best deal out of all of them. He gets a 2-year vacation from the reality TV grind.
It's a fascinating study in American reality TV dynasties. Crime, federal punishment, and cutesy pregnancy reveals, all neatly packaged together for a summer premiere on cable television. It is the American dream fully realized.
Babes, I am exhausted. My salted caramel frappe is entirely empty, the ice is melted into a sugary puddle, and my brain is completely fried from this amount of profound gossip.
It was a lot.
We need to wrap this up before I need a nap. Let's bring back the cozy, chaotic Friday energy.
We survived the morning drama drop, and we want to sincerely thank the Snark Squad for choosing to start your busy morning with the two of us.
Oh, you really do.
We know you have places to be, whether it's the dental office, the corporate boardroom, or apparently the federal prison visitation room for a gender reveal.
True.
And we appreciate you spending this time with us.
We love you guys. And remember, you have a strict call to action. We need you to send in your shady, snarky, or just plain stupid submissions. We demand that you jump in the comments right now and drop your absolute hottest takes on today's massive drama drop.
Drop them right now.
Who is right in the window wars? Was the Sprinter van staged? What is the Secret Service moisturizer?
And please, officially weigh in on whether the vegetarian era is actually going to last through the weekend, because my money is on absolutely not.
Hey, I am committed. Mostly. But before we go, I know you have a final provocative thought for everyone to marinate on while they pretend to work today.
I do. Based on the sheer unprecedented volume of legal mess we discussed today, from Brian and Beth's NDAs to defamation countersuits, from TMZ legal threats to Steve McBee's federal prison sentences, babes, it makes you wonder.
Wonder what?
Will reality TV eventually just be fully litigated in actual courtrooms instead of on our screens? Are we moving toward a dystopian future where we don't watch reunions hosted by Andy Cohen, but instead we just watch live streams of civil and criminal trials on Bravo?
Oh, wow.
Because it feels like the drama is rapidly outgrowing the parameters of a television show and spilling directly into the judicial system.
Oh, my God. A Bravo courtroom channel. Judge Judy meets Andy Cohen. I would subscribe immediately. Take all my money. Honestly, my only focus right now is just trying to physically survive the rest of the workday. I'm running on absolutely nothing but the remnants of a McDonald's frappe, a single greasy hash brown, and the deeply ingrained lactic acid trauma of one Pilates class.
It's a highly volatile, dangerous physiological combination.
It is. I am already debating whether I will immediately cave and order massive amounts of takeout later tonight, abandoning the vegetarian era entirely in favor of emotional comfort food. But honestly, delusion is a powerful, beautiful drug. Because despite the takeout and despite the syrup in the frappe, I am still fully, genuinely expecting to see visible abs in the mirror tonight when I get home.
And that, babes, is the exact level of unhinged delusion we all need to carry us into the weekend.
Exactly. Stay caffeinated, stay messy, and we will see you on the Snark side.